Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from Everyday Guy, Redonkulous Guy here, and welcome back to the letters. So in this episode, I will be covering all the branch routes and all the endings of the chapter 2, that is the Hannah arc. Now, as in the last episode, just like that, in this episode too, I won't be covering the original set of branch routes and the original ending that I got. So if you are curious to know what ending that I got, it's up right here, where in the last episode, if you have been following my series, I got the ending number 2, where Luke, this gentleman over here, killed us. Because if you have followed the series, you will know why. And oh my god, this is the exact same thing that I was like so much trying my best to avoid it, but this guy, oh my god, I wish I can change this. I mean, I can at least see what these two endings can be. But as I said before, will stick to my original set of choices. So we will stick to the original set of ending that I got, that is Hannah dies. And we will be covering all the routes and dead ends and the remaining two endings. If you want to check out all the original set of choices that I got and the ending itself, that is the ending number 2, you can check it out. Link is in the description. So without further ado, let's start with the first choice that we have over here, where last time around we chose to remain silent. So let's choose defend myself now.
Yes, I am very happy, Luke, because for once in a very long time, we are doing what I want.
Yeah, I chose the other option because I was like, I do not want to piss off Luke, because this guy gives off the vibe that he's gonna do something like that. What happened in the ending number 2, and he did it. Freaking hell, I tried my best to be at good terms with this guy, but this guy was pathetic all the freaking ways. So let's see how other choices will make changes in here.
I'm ecstatic. Understood. And this would be perfect if you stop acting like a child who needs their nappy changed. We will be leaving after lunch for the Ermengarde mansion. You are going to park your rear in the car and keep mum. And you are going to behave during the tour.
Needless to say, Luke looks a bit shocked at my little outburst. He opened and closed his mouth a few times, struggling to reply before he crosses his arm to look like, well, a mopping child.
Any more rules for this little excursion of yours, Your Highness?
No wine.
No wine? Unacceptable! I am already not allowed to the tasting, and you would deprive me of that simple pleasure?
If I see you take one sip today, I will put the stocks under lock and key. Do you understand me?
Don't forget the bottles he keeps in his dresser.
Whose side are you on?
How many times in one day can you ask that?
As many times as I need you, traitor.
Okay, maybe... Let's see, I feel like reverse psychology, that is being very rude to Luke, may work out towards the end of it. Let's see. Wow, did not expect things to go like that. So, the ride to the ride to the mansion is quiet, with Luke having stared out the window the entire way, not paying any attention to anything around him. Meanwhile, I'm conflicted. I don't know if I should apologize for changing his plans like that. But by the time we arrive at the mansion, and it's the same from here, so let's go on to the next choice. Okay, so the next choice that we have over here is to free our schedule or question the need for a meeting. Last time around, we asked the question. This time around, let's free it up. But before that, we missed out on this one. That is probably because this decision is affected by your decision in the Isabella arc. So we will get to this one later on. And I guess this one little thing will make a big thing. I feel like it will make a big thing ahead in the first ending or the third ending. Let's see about that. So for now, let's free up our schedule.
But I guess we can free up a day to meet with you. I don't really need another Maudlin Monday reading about Maury anyway. The book club can function without me for one day. What time shall we be seeing each other? How does lunch sound?
Besides, my house has a high priority over book club. Why we can hold the next meeting in this place? Surely the beauty and grandeur of it all will inspire spirited and lively debates about whether modern day writers could match up to the classics. I might as well clear up the rest of my week to handle whatever affairs buying this mansion requires of me. Any social activity can be put off until the Urban Guard, or rather the Wright's Mansion great debut. I will have my fill of great parties and gatherings, especially when I organize them myself.
That sounds good. Although, with a project of this scope, we might need most of the day to tackle your concerns. A more thorough inspection of the place is also preferable.
Breakfast then. It's a date.
It's really not.
All right. Monday. 10 o'clock sharp. We'll see you then.
Actually, Marianne suggested that we meet at 9, but who is even awake at that unholy hour? I was, okay, I think this is the same from here, so let's move on to the next decision. Okay, we are over here where last time around we chose to ask for her silence. This time around, let's be a little bad woman and threaten Marianne. Well, I'm not going to let Marianne do so. No. She isn't going to talk about this ever. I take in a deep breath. I have always been the matronly of Luke and I, and many have seen my dear darling husband get angry before. But there will be repercussions if I am angered. People often forget that.
You know, I can make life very difficult for you if you speak a word of this.
At my little declaration, I am met with a stony look from the other woman.
I won't speak a word, Mrs. Wright.
Won't you? How would I know? What guarantee do I have?
I have signed a document, Mrs. Wright, saying that I will honor your confidentiality as a client. It does not speak only about the design of your home, but also about what I may hear or learn during my time here about you as my client. It's all on paper. There is no need for threats, Mrs. Wright.
I don't trust you, but I suppose that I will have to make do with that.
It's in the contract.
She says it with a tone of finality, like as if it answered every little problem. In the contract. Marriage is a contract, is it not? A contract where one spouse has responsibility and obligations towards the other. A contract wherein two people enter a monogamous relationship as overseen by the law and in certain cases by the church. But if that sacred contract, which has stayed through the test of time, can be broken, how am I to trust any other? The door to the parlor opens, cutting through the tension in the air like a knife.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
I give him nothing but a small nod.
If you dare tell anyone about what you just heard, well, I'll make sure you regret it, Annie darling. Now, if you can excuse me.
Standing up and walking out, I hear no reply from her. Neither do I bother to answer the questioning look the butler gives. An interview with Luxury Living. That is today, isn't it? Oh yes. And yeah, I guess everything from here is quite the same. This was very unlike Hana. That's why this decision is obviously bad. But pretty interesting to see. So let's move on to the next one. Right now, I'm not in the mood for any interview, but I have no other choice, do I? Okay, this was a little pissed off thingy compared to the last time one though. So yeah, that was a little new, that's why I stopped and read that. Whatever quarrel I had with Marianne, Luke or anyone else is left forgotten as I put on a cordial face.
Miss Wright, yeah?
And also, by the way, I'm very curious as to what this route is like. Yeah. Wow. I really want to know what this could have been. We will find that out later on, but for now let's continue with where we are. Alright, we are over here. Last time around we stopped the teasing. Let's see what if we continue teasing though. This is who I am, and I am not going to tone myself down for somebody else. I have no obligation to do so. At any rate, he's rather cute, and it is a bit fun seeing him squirm. What's the worst that can happen? I doubt it will be anything bad, considering how much of a gentleman he is.
Oh, stop doing what, Zach, sweetie?
Touching my arm and looking at me like that.
I pause, giving him a baffled look. This is certainly the first time a man has ever complained about me being too friendly.
I'm not doing anything wrong. Come on now, don't be like that. It's just a bit of fun.
A bit of harmless fun.
I'm sorry. It's just really uncomfortable and I don't think either of us want Mr. Right to see us and think there's any funny business. I'm sorry. Look, we're finished with the interview already, aren't we? Maybe it's about time I go.
Oh, you must be joking.
No, I'm not.
You're certainly the odd one. Don't be such a killjoy. A little bit of flirting never hurt anyone. Other men would simply be delighted by my interest in them. Besides, you really are such a cutie.
Well, I'm not them, Hannah. So, yeah, I'm probably odd.
I don't understand you.
Let me put it this way. You're a pretty lady, so this must have happened to you at least once or twice. How would you feel if someone was making you uncomfortable? Only for them to refuse when you ask them to stop and they make you out to be the one that's wrong?
This isn't the same as that.
No, it's the same, Hannah. As I try to argue his point, he starts to pack the rest of his bag. This is preposterous. My main argument is, what sort of man complains about a beautiful woman being friendly with them? The fact that, who respects relationship, like you are married, that's why he respects that, and that's why he feels uncomfortable about that, and I think I will too. So yeah, this is very unlike Hannah, and this is obviously a bad choice, but very interesting to see this side too. It seems logical in my head, but the moment I try to say it, it starts to fall
Yes,
apart.
it is. Unwanted advances don't make me feel macho or anything like that. I'm not here to argue morals or ethics, Miss Wright. I think I have more than enough for the interview, if that's fine with you. I may be starting to overstay my welcome.
I feel deflated. And things were going so smoothly too. Oh my god, sorry Anna to mess this up for you. I ended up pushing too hard, just when I might have found myself a good friend. I'm not sure if I feel awful because I'm not getting what I want, or because I was just compared to the pigs I so despise.
You're not even going to let me apologize.
You're not a bad person, Hannah. Just
Because I really am sorry.
people won't always be how you want them to be. And apology accepted. But I really do need to go. A friend of mine is expecting me and it's getting late.
Will you visit again? I will be asking for copies of those photographs.
Yeah, sure. I'll make you a copy.
That would be much appreciated. I'll ask Johannes to see you out.
I feel sick to my stomach as I watch Zachary leave. It is silly to be upset over a falling out with a man who was, only a few hours ago, a complete stranger to me. That doesn't excuse my boorish behavior at all, and it doesn't make the ill feeling any better. Idling about, I stare off into space, unsure of how I feel. And I stay a good while just standing there until the sun sets in the horizon. Disheartened, I proceed back into the mansion for supper. Entering the dining hall causes me so much confusion. It is dark. For a moment I thought okay, so it's gonna be the same from here, so wow, that was quite the side of Hannah that we saw. And yeah, Zach was totally right about it, and I knew it would go this way because Hannah kinda considered Zach as one of the men that she has met. So yeah, Zack was definitely not one of them, or unlike them, was totally a gentleman, and yeah, that's why not gonna reveal it. But yeah, for now, I guess I will keep that a secret, and we'll move on to the next decision. Let's go. Okay, so last time around we said that we were with Zachary, but this time around, let's say I was tending the gardens. And I guess Johannes never told him about us being with Zachary, unless if Luke's arc revealed that he knew about it. But yeah, let's say I was
just
tending the
tending
garden.
to the garden, sweetie.
You were?
For a moment, he looks skeptical. I can tell by the gleam in his eyes and the way he sits up in attention. He thinks I'm lying, and you are lying. But I see no point in bringing up Zachary and aggravating him. I did tend to the gardens for a bit, so it's not a complete lie. Just a little white lie. Besides, I know how to please him. Sauntering over and circling around him, I place my fingers on his shoulders. He lets out a little groan before melting like butter as I massage his shoulders.
I had to make sure they didn't ruin your favorite daffodils.
Oh, that is wonderful.
I'm not sure if he means the massage or the flowers, but I will take it. This is better than a fight.
So, absinthe.
Just one glass, Lush.
I suppose I can let this one go. A bit too late anyway, you've already drank half the thing.
Although she does not allow, and she gets really pissed off, and a fight takes place in the original one. God
But
damn.
remember your doctor's orders.
Yes, I'll try to drink less.
Try.
Hey, I'm only human. Do you want one?
No, thank you.
Supper is spent in silence with nothing but occasional sound of silverware. A grand feast has been served, well grander than usual anyway, most likely due to Luke's complaint of stress. And yeah, it's the same from here, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now we are on to some really interesting one, because last time around we chose to just call them out instead of opening the hatch. So let's see what's gonna happen if I open the hatch up. I may not be going down, but there's no point in talking through closed doors. Or hatches in this case. The thing refuses to budge at first until there is a soft click and it easily swings free. As I lift off the hatch and look down into the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. It isn't just the sudden onset of vertigo and nausea, but also the darkness. It's suffocating. And as I look down, it feels as if it's looking back at me. I worry that something will suddenly pull me into the deep. Let's see, I can hear her whispering. Calling for me. She wants me. Needs me. This is pretty much the same scene as one we saw when she was going to the bed earlier. I guess in the first day. Yeah, she wants to drown me, pull me down and suffocate me in her embrace until I sink to the bottom. A deep abyss waits, inviting yet foreboding. She's calling to me from in there, isn't she? And I do want to help, I do. But the shadows threaten to creep out and a feeling of apprehension keeps me in place. Already, it paints the room in a darker light. This is like the dream all over again. Yes! Whoa! This is... Or maybe we just saw a premonition of this exact same thing happening. There is a hook in my stomach as well. But this time, it doesn't pull me back. Instead, it pulls me forward. There is a lurching sensation, and the feeling that follows after is harder to explain. It feels like I'm watching myself from the sidelines, a spectator to my actions or lack thereof. I will myself to snap out of this detached feeling, to move, to do anything except stare at myself. And for a moment, I see the look of fear in my own face. And I'm back in my body, but the hook in my stomach is no longer the only one. There are hooks everywhere, tearing and pulling at my skin, flesh and bones. They pull at me in every direction and it hurts. It hurts so much, but I just can't bring myself to scream out.
Help me.
Oh, wow. Resist the ghost influence me. No, let's fail. I guess we will get a dead end with that. Yeah, let's get the dead end first. And deeper and deeper. Yeah. I drown. Wow, really? Really? Wow, that was quite pretty lame dead end. I was expecting some kind of a big jump scare, but it was just like, I'm dead. Okay, so let's do this now legitly. M P L. Did we got it? Ooh. I wake from a deep slumber. It takes a while with the fog that has settled in my head and with my heavy limbs, so we are back in the bed. But soon enough, I managed to look around. I'm in our bedroom already, although I do not recall going here. Luke slumbers beside me, looking peaceful and angelic. It doesn't matter. I'm safe and I feel better than ever. Tomorrow, better days will come. Wow, okay, that was little anticlimactic, especially the dead end. I was expecting big things, but wow, already. So it was just a big dream. So already gone, Luke, and there isn't a single hide or hair of him to be found. And trying to call him, yeah, I guess it's the same from here. So let's move on to the next decision.
What do I think of the matter, ma'am?
Okay.
No, what do you think of my hair? It feels so lifeless and dull today, and that's no good for a party. And I think I'm breaking out into zits.
Now that you mention it, there is something different.
There better not be something on my face.
I wouldn't worry about that. You do look a little paler than usual, ma'am.
Oh, maybe that is because we chose the option to open that hatch up, and today we are in a bit of a mess.
I apologize if I'm crossing any lines here, but have you been resting properly?
Huh. You'd think I get a bit tanned with how sunny it's been lately. Don't you worry. I feel right as rain and never better. But back to the matter at hand.
You were asking for my personal opinion on the matter, ma'am? Do you want me to be honest, or...
Yeah, we did not got this earlier, so it went straight last time, but this time around it went like this. So yeah, let's choose the next option, that is, I don't know.
I don't know, Marianne. I just...
She hesitates, taking a sip of her coffee while I stare into my own cup of tea before she speaks.
Perhaps it has been the years, perhaps not. It might just be the little things that have built up all this time. It might be something big. I wouldn't know all the details. But in any case, with things like these, I've seen couples take time apart just to cool off. Sometimes they get back together in the end with lighter hearts, and sometimes they don't get back together at all, but part on better terms.
Speaking from experience, are we, Miss McCullough?
Well, that certainly got a rise out of her as her cheeks turn red and she nearly chokes on her coffee.
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I'm not interested in any fella even. It's just a thing I've seen happen a few times.
What if I said the couple are very public figures? They wouldn't want to take time apart unless it was really necessary. They wouldn't want people to talk.
Well, that's a load of guff. Not to mention that makes them a bit thick, doesn't it? Forget about what other people say. That's their relationship and they should do what's best for them.
And if they point out that you're being a hypocrite and they can also disregard what you say?
Then that's their choice. I'm just saying that a break might do them good. A short time apart is better than someone trying to leg it out of the relationship or one ending up trying to murder the other out of frustration if they're even the slightest bit touched in the head.
Oh my god, Marianne just predicted what happens or what happened with my original set of decisions. Oh my god, Marianne is so good. She cuts through straight. Oh my god, that was on point, Marianne, because that is exactly what happens. And let's see if it would happen with this set of choices that I have got.
Because we don't want now, do we?
She trails off, having said her piece, and leaves nothing but the smell of coffee and Earl Grey between us. There is a calm despite the nature of what has just been discussed. To say that her words make me start to think is an understatement. To say that I'm not considering her advice is a lie. And to say that this might just be the calm before the storm is a possibility. Others have shorter marriages but plenty have celebrated long and happy ones, and yeah, I guess it's the same from here. So if there are any changes, I will show you, and let's move on to the next one. She's just jealous. Jealous of this wonderful marriage, this happily ever after that I have with my prince. Oh, this time around, Hannah is not questioning Luke that, did you really do it? Instead she is like, our marriage is happily ever after, and she's just jealous. Oh.
Take that troll up out of here immediately! And see to it that she isn't allowed here or anywhere we hold any authority in Luxbourne.
To be banned from anything with the right name on it is basically social suicide. We practically own half of Luxbourne, and there isn't a single establishment of repute that isn't under our patronage one way or another. This is mercy. I can do much worse to her. At least this way, she can just move out of the city and never ever return. I have stayed my hand in the face of her grievous fault, her bold-faced lies, when she deserves so much more. I can take away her business, have her factories shut down. It is too easy to ruin her life until she is just nothing. And it is also tempting. I can only see red. The tension is thick in the air, and the silence that embraces the room is nearly deafening. There are worried and almost fearful glances from some of the guests, yet at the same time I can still hear them whispering. But as long as they hold their tongues and don't interfere, none of those matter to me. Especially when my darling looks at me with a different shine in his eyes. Yeah, because we are being as evil as this guy only. Or maybe he's just like, she's so stupid. I thought she was gonna like ask me that, is this true? And then yeah, my god. So let's see how this one goes, because either he's thinking that we are very stupid to believe him, or he's impressed by how evil we are right now, just like him. Let's see. It almost seems as if he's proud of what I have done, and that spurs me on more than anything. Yeah, just what I said.
Everyone, please go back to enjoying the party. Don't let that mess of a woman ruin your night.
You heard her! Strike up the band, maestro, and let us dance like fireflies in the night!
It takes a bit for the crowd to stir again in the face of all that. But like most problems of the elite, it is brushed under the rug and forgotten in favor of merriment. He offers his hand to me with a small smirk and a bow.
Well, that was a mess, wasn't it? And you handled it magnificently.
It happens. We are very important people, are we not?
Milady, would you like to dance?
With pleasure, my prince.
No one is going to get in between me and my darling husband. not Rochelle or any other rich snooty scrubber. Not some common whore and an ambitious maid. No one is going to get near him in that manner, not while I'm around. And if I have anything to say about it, no one is going to get near him at all. I really wonder, and I would really like to see from Luke's perspective how this scene was and what his thinking process was. Did he really do it? And I'm freaking sure he did it. I'm very sure about that. The day after proved to be a difficult task. My darling prince is a man of many connections, a man of the people. He always talking to one person or another. And I'm always left alone, unable to stay at his side at all times. It is frustrating, but I have to be understanding. Besides, I don't see why he can't just stay at home. The least I can do is to make sure I have his time while he's here, which in and of itself isn't as easy as it sounds. Not with that bloody valet of his tailing him around.
Johans! Where's my tie? I can't find it anywhere.
Have you looked around your neck? It should be there if it's not on your clothes horse, sir.
It isn't often that I'm awake this early, at least early enough to find my darling preparing for the day with his valet attending to him. It is an old-fashioned way to go about the morning. He's able to dress himself after all. But he says that it really makes the day easier for him to have someone else do this tedious task, albeit with grimace. Though if that manservant of his dislikes the duty so much, I will gladly do it in his stead.
I've got it, my prince. Come here.
Well, someone's up and at them especially early this morning, huh? Here I thought you'd be knackered by all the dancing we did last night at the party. And after that, well...
A saucy little wink and a smile is what he offers me as I draw close to fix his tie. And when the valet reaches out with his perfume, I quickly take it and shoo him aside. So he calls Johans now just a valet? Oh my god, what? This close, his scent fills me with smell of white flowers, cocoa, cardamom, and almonds. It is intoxicating, and the sight of the two of us in the vanity mirror is picturesque and perfect. Can I help it if I feel a bit resentful that another person get to do this for Luke every morning when I could have done it myself? No, I can't.
You're dismissed, Shrokin. I have this. Go on then. You'll be summoned if you're needed.
This is a curious look. Furrowed brows before any sign that he cares is wiped from his expression.
Very well. If you need me, I'll be somewhere that isn't here.
You could have let the man do his job.
Wow, Hana has become a savage. Like, she is very rude to everyone, just like this guy. Oh my god. Like, we chose the rude bad way of being rude to Marianne. Being a little bit like rude again to her. Then in the party what we did right now, and with Johans, like, he's such a cool guy. Don't freaking be rude towards him. Like, god damn it. Let's first see what route are we on actually though. Oh wow, we are on the first route. Oh, so this route, we still haven't got that one. We will see about that later on. So yeah, let's see where this one ends up at.
And I say there's no need for him. I can take care of you just fine, my prince. Just where are you off to this morning anyway?
I hate the thought of him leaving me. It feels like an eternity without him here, in this lonely place that doesn't feel like a home quite yet. Although the mansion is really growing on me, slowly but surely. I want to be at his side, yet he fails to see such an obvious thing.
Business. Where else?
Why can't you just work from home? You can afford to, can't you?
Business needs a firm hand and a personal touch, Buttercup. Besides, I can't stay cooped up forever in here. I'll go mad.
Well, you'll come back home as soon as possible, won't you? It's so awfully lonely here without you, my prince.
I could. I don't see why I should, though. This hasn't been a problem before. You know I'll come home when I come home.
Just get home as soon as you can. For me, won't you?
No promises. It's business after all. I can't just stand up in the middle of the meeting and tell them the wife wants me home.
Then forget those peasants.
Wow. He stops and stares, looking perturbed for a moment before shaking his head. Is he feeling ill? That's more reason for him to stay here with me, doesn't it? I am just being a good wife, worrying about my husband and all. Good wife in a very rude, savage manner. That's the correct way to put it.
Be good, dear, and stay safe. There's been all sorts of dodgy characters seen about the property. I'll be leaving Johans with you, just in case you need anything, and to be on the safe side, okay?
Yeah, and why was he acting all like, oh my god, why is she such a bad girl right now? I mean, I'm a good guy. Why is she such a bad one? What is happening?
But I don't need a valet. I need you here with me.
I'll be closing a big deal with a pharmaceutical company soon, if things go according to plan. Maybe, after that, I can take a breather for a bit.
No maybes. You have to promise me.
I only need him.
I'm going to be late, Hana. The longer this takes, the later I'll get home.
Fine. Shall I see you out?
If that's what you want.
At the front door, his valet waits, ready to accompany him for the rest of the day when he's told to stay and tend to me. I still don't like it. It looks like he doesn't either. But I ignore him in favor of the one who really matters. I hold Luke's hand in mine and give him a deep kiss. It makes my heart flutter as I see the way his eyes close during our moment of passion. Parting for air, I can only smile.
Have a good day, my prince.
Right. Off I go.
I still don't want him to leave. He should just stay. Forever.
If you could let go of my hand, please, Hana.
It's just so hard to let go when I finally have him in my grasp. To watch him enter his car and leave pains me so. It leaves behind an aching, gaping hole like a hunger and a need. I'm not content until he returns.
If it fits you, breakfast is ready in the parlor, madam.
If anything, I will be in a foul mood until he returns.
Leave and go practice your bloody sodomy elsewhere.
Peculiar.
When I turn around to hiss at him to leave, he's already gone, and that suits me just fine. I want to be alone without anyone bothering me. Oh my god, Hana is such a... Oh my god. I want to be alone with myself and my thoughts, with only this halls as company. This damned halls which will hold our memories, just he and I. There is no one else I need but my prince. Not some cheeky servant who's just living it up because he's Luke's right-hand man. Rubbish like him deserve nothing. Oh no! No, Johans. He deserves to be thrown and locked in. My god, she's very, very getting negative over here. The attic. Without realizing it, my feet have brought me in here. Or maybe she's getting possessed. She's just becoming evil due to negative energy and because of the decisions that I have taken. This empty, lifeless room disgusts me. The longer I stare at it, the harder it gets to breathe, as if the walls are moving in on me. Yet at the same time it pulls me in. I hear a whispering, and curiosity gets the better of me as I look under the bed. There on the far corner, a loose floorboard. The wood, despite having swelled and warped over the years, is strangely familiar, comforting in its feel. Though it's not merely what my hand searches for as I reach for it, it takes quite an effort, but soon I am able to lift it. And inside, underneath the dust and cobwebs, lies a pendant, warm and familiar. And I swear, if I just close my eyes, I can feel it beating in my palm. I feel a thrill, though I also feel like a thief for taking this. But it's mine. So without delay, I hide in our room. In front of the vanity, I see the way my eyes shine as I remove the clasp of my old necklace and I put on this new one. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? It fits a lot better than the old one. I can feel it as it weighs on my chest.
Right where it belongs.
What? Oh! What? Oh my god! That pendant! She wore it and she became evil. She became that ghost girl. What? She became the ghost girl when she wore that thing. Her face, her every posture and everything was just like I'm a bitch now. Oh wow. I mean, she was already a little savage, bad girl, but oh boy, she officially became one like that. Oh my god, that was like the dark side of her, I will say, and ended up with a very darker route. And I'm glad I did not got this ending because wow, this was something. So yeah, we got the ending number 1 where Hana turned into not only evil girl, lady, sorry, not girl, I'm so sorry about telling her girl, lady, but also became the evil ghost lady by wearing that pendant. Wow, that is certainly very interesting to know. So yeah, now we are gonna get all this locked ones, and especially this area, which I think it will be unlocked once we unlock this one, which happens if I choose the option to, I think, to not show the letter instead of showing it, because yeah, original set of route was to show the letter. So if I don't, as you saw in the first chapter, all the routes and branch route ending ones, that Hana was a little concerned and caring towards Isabella because she was a little freaked out, and because of that Luke never flirted with her, and that's why Hana never gets jealous with Luke and is quite caring towards us. So yeah, maybe let's see how that will take a change over here and in later on courses of the branch routes that are there. So let's do that. Also, one more change that I'm gonna do for the Hana arc is that, since you know there was that one place where, I guess, also one more change that I'm gonna do in this arc, which I'm pretty sure will have a good effect on the next arc, is that we are gonna choose to meet with the professor, because if we meet with the priest, Zack meets with Hana and then she already knows about her in the next arc. So yeah, let's choose to meet with the professor.
I'll think about it, but
okay, there is a change over here now. So what's been bugging my mind, however, is that Isabella, what is her problem? I still don't quite understand what is happening. One moment she's scrambling to give us the paperwork to finalize the sale, then she's panicking over some sort of prank letter or another.
dear me, is Isabel alright?
It is apparent with the way she shakes and by the pallor of her skin, something has really shaken her up.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
I'm worried, but it will be best if she is attended to by someone more familiar to her, like her partner. But even then, the girl refuses Rose's offered drink and looks just about ready to make a run for it.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Yeah, and this is exactly how it goes in the Isabella arc too, if we switch places. And yeah, this time around, Luke was not flirting with her, and that's why we are at good terms with Luke, I guess. Yeah, pretty good. And she does so, just as I predicted, and her partner follows like a concerned mother. There is an awkward air among us as we are left in the wake of whatever that was. Yeah, there's murmur, and I guess it's the same from here. So let's see what other changes are gonna be, especially the professor one that I did.
I can't apologize enough about what just happened. Please forgive Isabella. She's been under a lot of pressure lately. She's young, and all those rumors about this being haunted just got to her head. And it must be this terrible heat, too. Not a drop of rain for days now.
Are you sure it is wise to just let her go like that? Where is the poor dear? She might get hurt.
She's more likely to hurt somebody else, given what just happened.
I told her to sit down and take a break. Already rang someone to pick her up, too.
That might be for the best, dear. But please, we're here to talk about the mansion, yes? Why, I absolutely adore it. Don't you, Luke? Some of the rooms will certainly have to be repurposed. We want to change the appliances and have Marianne lead on the decor, but the whole thing is just lovely.
I guess. It's certainly a lot roomier than our penthouse.
Exactly. Lots of space for guests, parties, a lot of room for little ones to run around too.
Let's not discuss that right now, Buttercup. Anyway, I do think it would be a shame to let this mansion slip past us.
But you haven't even finished touring the house.
Well, we like what we've seen.
I'm making her job easier for her, am I not? No need for loans or long price negotiations. We can just sign a contract and close the deal. Really, you would think the woman will be more happy about an easy sale. I know how these estate agents work, how long they had to wait and how much they had to spend even just for a single sale. Why she should be jumping for joy by now. I'm sure the commission on this mansion is nothing to sneeze at, even if she has to split it with the Isabella girl.
Do you think we could have horses here?
Yes, those do sound nice, love. Anyway, if anyone else is interested in buying this property, I assure you that I'm able and willing to give a better offer.
A vineyard would be nice. Or maybe
And we do reward our people quite generously, Rose. So if I were you, I would start on that paperwork.
Helicopter pad.
I pause. And there's a small moment of complete silence where Rose and I just stare incredulously at Luke. It is an unspoken understanding, a rule between the two of us that we have to put on an act. With our social standing where image matters, it is also important to avoid making enemies. And to follow this rule is an easy feat for me. From youth, I have been the well-trained social butterfly, gracious and graceful. Luke, on the other hand...
Wait, what, Luke? No, what? Whatever would we need a helipad for?
Well, he likes to play the fool sometimes, even if it is anything but. As he throws me a very wry smile, I shake my head and beckon Rose over. This is to be our home, and there is nothing she or anyone else can do to change my mind. This is a place that speaks of power and importance, and at the same time, of safety and comfort. Perhaps we can even have our family here. There is definitely no better gift than this for our special date. Why everything here is absolutely wonderful? Well, except for this action. Yeah, I guess now everything is gonna be quite the same from here, so let's move on to the next one. I feel elation when I hear those words from him. It's not every day one is able to please someone like Luke. He gives away false flattery to sway those who starve for his attention and approval, but in the privacy of closed doors, he would often express his grievances. He neither censored himself in front of me, nor spared me from his criticism.
You have been saying the penthouse was getting a bit too small for you. Happy anniversary!
Oh. That time of the year already?
He forgot about it last year too. I understand that he's a busy man, but...
Is that why you want to buy it?
Yes. You don't like it?
I do. But I remember you used to talk about how you wanted to live next to the beach.
Botany Bay, Kent. I remember the sea, water that stretched on for miles and miles, as far as the eyes can see. As a kid, I loved our beach trips, swimming all day as much as I could. I was a well-behaved child, and the only time I was ever truly difficult was when I refused to get out of the waters, even when my fingers had gone all wrinkly. And even when they managed to pull me out of the water, there was always sandcastles. The day before we married, I told Luke that I wanted a house on a beach and a dog. And a kid or two. None of those came true 7 years later.
That was a childish dream. Living next to the beach is so impractical if you really think about it.
I don't know. It's not a bad thought to see you in a bathing suit every day.
Maybe another time, love. We still have forever, don't we?
He says nothing, only grabbing my arm or hand and holding it tight as we spend the rest of the ride home in silence. I miss the sea. Okay, this was quite peaceful. I think it's gonna be pretty peaceful from here since we are not pissed off at Luke for flirting and everything. Cause he never did it. So yeah, sick and hovering over the loo at 3 in the morning, the picture I paint right now is hardly glamorous. A horribly fishy taste is left in my mouth as I throw up what I had for dinner, and I hate the acrid stench that fills the lavatory. The burning sensation at the back of my throat is of no help whatsoever. I can feel another wave of nausea come up on me when the door opens.
Hana, what are you doing so early out of bed?
I'm fine, love. I must have just eaten something bad.
That's all I managed to say before vomiting again into the porcelain throne. Lovely.
Just go back to bed, Luke. I'm going to clean up here.
I refuse to look at him. I don't want him to see me like this. The last time I've had a horrible morning retching into a toilet was during my college years, being the life of the party. Thoughtless and shameless, I had thrown away months to frivolous merriment and pointless hookups. I didn't even retain any of the connections I had made from that time. Sure, they still know of me and I still know of them, and we still do business from time to time, but I've lost touch with anyone who I didn't see on a daily basis. I hardly have any of the friends I had when I was still Hannah Evans, teachers, fellow university students, drinking birdies and all conquests like Jack.
No, don't touch me, sweetie. It's disgusting. I'm disgusting.
Luke sits down next to me on the toilet floor to hold my hair even as I cough up more fish. He wipes the vomit from the corner of my mouth and just stares.
Do I need to fire someone? I don't feel sick.
Just feeling a bit under the weather, dear. It's been unbearably hot as of late, hasn't it? I do wish it would rain.
Are you sure it wasn't those sweets? I told you not to eat those sweets.
Maybe. Well, don't laugh.
Well, I can't help if you make that sort of face.
He starts chuckling and soon enough, he is in a fit of laughter. The scene happening next to a loo filled with sick just makes the whole thing bizarre, and it nearly makes me start giggling as well. I try to stifle it though as I smack him on the shoulder.
I'm not making a face, Luke. Stop laughing. Shut up.
When he would not stop laughing, I let myself go as laughter bubbles from my own throat and I forget whatever ill feelings plagued me. We are just husband and wife, laughing together at a funny face, the little things in life. I let myself go because I know that these moments will not last forever. But if I just know the terrible things that are to come for us, I would have wished with everything I have then and there that the laughter stayed. Wow, that went
Hiya! Come on now!
incredibly great. Like, yeah. So, like, that one little decision of not showing the letter did a big damn effect. Like, look, a nice guy? What? Oh my god. And yeah, I guess, let me see though. Yeah, we are finally onto this track because we come over here because of that one decision to not show the letter. And because of that, Luke flirts. We get pissed off, jealous, we first of all reveal about, our relationship not being that good, and then asking for her silence, and then you know what the stuff is. So this time around we are at good terms already with Luke, so this is gonna be pretty cool to see how this will go. Luke being a nice guy, wow. Okay. The place is bustling with movers carrying furnishings here and there, along with several trunks of personal belongings taken from our penthouse. Luke watches them like a hawk, making sure nothing is handled carelessly or gets
Careful
stolen.
now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African Blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings. Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
I can see the exasperation, and I have to send the foreman an apologetic glance. Even Johannes rolls his eye as he goes by. Considering Luke is always like this during a project, Johannes and I have gotten used to it. Poor Marianne, on the other hand, looks a bit stressed at seeing the gigantic mess before quickly going back to work. Yeah, this time around we are not talking with Marianne. Everything just has to be perfect, exactly the way he wants it. One little thing out of place, one little thing that didn't fit the image he clearly constructed in his head, and Luke gets bent out of shape.
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let Johannes and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
Taking him by the hand, I lead him upstairs to our bedroom. This place has been arranged first so that we can get some rest, no matter what state the rest of the mansion is in. I'm definitely glad I can just lie down on a soft, comfy bed after what has been a busy morning. Watching Luke act like his life depended on getting this move done is tiring all on its own. And to think I have a whole day of this ahead of me, I feel the bed dip inside me as Luke sits down with a sigh.
Well, I can't wait for this to be over.
I don't know. It's fun seeing you all fired up. Here at home and not at work, you know.
You know I can't always be home, Hannah. I have a company to run, unless you've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten. You're the one who insists on being there to make sure each and every little thing is under control. I just really miss you sometimes, and I wish you were at home more often. Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home. And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture. Besides, you don't even like cats.
True. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess? I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute. If you think about it, a cat would be better.
It's not always that we can just lie down and talk about this sort of things. Yeah, it's not. To joke around as we are teenagers again with very little problem in the way of responsibilities and roles. To hear his genuine, honest to goodness laughter is a rarity indeed. Because, oh my god, I've not seen him laugh like this throughout this whole arc. This is just the second time as of late. And I can only see it as signs of good things to come, hopefully.
All good points. I guess we could just have kids. That is, if you prefer dealing with soiled nappies and sick as opposed to dead birds, mice, and litter boxes. I've already told Marianne about turning the second bedroom into a children's room.
I guess sometimes I don't know when I'm crossing a line. I didn't say that I'm a good comedian, did I?
Not this again.
What? I wasn't being serious.
It's not something you take the piss out of. Having a kid is a big responsibility, Hannah. We've talked about this, haven't we? I'm not ready to be a parent. I'd probably end up killing the little brat by the week's end.
Okay, so this is a brand new choice right up over here, so let's first save. Okay, so should we say you will be a great father? Or apologize for bringing it up? I would say let's say you will be a great father.
Kylie likes you well enough.
The mention of our little goddaughter places a conflicted look on his face. Sometimes it is cute when he denies having a soft spot for the little girl. But then sometimes it's sad and it makes me wonder what happened to make him think so poorly of himself in this regard. Who is Kylie though?
Yes, well, it's Kylie. The tyke likes everybody and, on the off chance she doesn't, likes them well enough as long as they buy her sweets. And sure, that kid is great, but if I get tired of her, I can ship her back to her father at the end of the day. Having kids of our own will be a whole different monster entirely.
I've never heard him talk about his father in anything but a business context. I recall Damien Wright kept hearing about him from my own father even before I met Luke. The business world praised him for running a tight ship, all until one mistake led to a big or great loss for the enterprise. It was then that the news of Luke Wright, a prodigy son and successor to the old man, started to show up, and he aided in its recovery and growth up until the Great Recession. I'm getting a bit off track. Regardless, I have never heard him talk about his father like one would talk about family.
I think you'll be a great father.
There is a smile, no matter how half-hearted it may be. I do really think that. He might not be a good, honest man. A part of me knows that, though I try to silence it. But I know Luke well enough that he will be a great father than either Damien Wright or Henry Evans. I love my father, but he never had the time.
If it is any consolation, I think you'd be a decent mother.
On the other hand, I have never heard of his mother. A silence settles, both comfortable and uncomfortable. There is a familiarity in each other's company despite the awkwardness that has transpired. The defenses and masks down without anybody else looking, we are both together and alone in this quiet. But a crash from downstairs startles us both out of our reverie. Luke lets out a heavy sigh before coming up to his feet and straightening his jacket.
I'll have to attend to that then.
Be good, darling. And watch out for your blood pressure.
He gives me a kiss on the cheek before leaving while I lay there in a daze. Alone as per usual. I really should be used to it by now. I can feel the minutes tick by with me just lying there, feeling miserable and full of self-pity. I have rolled over to lie on my stomach at this point with my face buried into the pillows when there's a knock at the door. Grumbling at them to go away doesn't work as a voice comes from the other side.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Wait, is that today? Oh yes. And it's gonna be the same from here, so let's move on to the next one. Wow, this was like really freaking good.
In a minute, Hansi.
Johannes, if you could at least make it through the end.
Tell them I'll be right down, Hansi.
Okay, now let's go. Okay, so I think this will have a good effect on the next upcoming thing. So for now, I'm gonna lie. And yeah, let's go. Because I think he will get pissed off by this though. Or maybe not, because he doesn't even know about Zach though. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so let's be honest, because there is this though. So maybe being honest would unlock this. Let's see. Yes, there is. We can get through this, right? I can't even pinpoint the... Yeah. So... Last time around, she was not confident about this part. That, you know, can we get through this? But this time around, she's a little confident because, yeah, there were good moments in this arc till here. So, yeah, let's see. I know that I still do love him. And I feel that there is still a part of him that loves me in return. We just need to get our heads together and talk it out. Surely he will see some sense. There is a cough before Marianne clears her throat. I must have been quiet for so long, and I move to apologize when she stands up. We both end up on our feet, unsure on how to proceed. Some sort of odd, awkward shuffle occurs as we decide whether to sit back or not.
I really should handle what's left of the work.
You won't be attending the party? Oh, you really must, Marianne.
And yeah, it's pretty much the same from here, so let's move on to the next one now. I had invited Father Norman too. Ah! Wait, what? It's the least I can do after he blessed the mansion on my request. Aside from my small donation to the church, of course. Whoa! So... even without choosing the option to, like, you know, call the priest or to meet with the priest, Hana nonetheless brings Father Norman to this mansion for the blessing. So, wow, I guess to choose the professor is indeed the best one, because you get the house blessed already, plus you are in very, very, very good terms with Ashton, and yeah, god damn it, I won't change it. I will definitely cover up all the things by the end of it, so yeah. But the poor man had taken ill and went through a nervous breakdown of some sort the other day. Wonder how that happened. And then there are people like Chief Inspector, and yeah, now let's go. Okay, let's see now how is this situation gonna turn out. They surround her and move to escort the hysterical woman. Yes, that's right. There is no way that what Rochelle says is the truth. What she says doesn't match up. I know, Luke. If such a scandalous meeting are to be arranged, he won't do it in such an exposed place, especially not near his precious flowers. And he definitely won't promise responsibility over a children unless it can be helped. Besides, Luke will never go as far as to sleep with another woman, right? Okay, fine, who am I kidding? If I am to be completely honest with myself, he might cheat. Yeah, that's just my gut feeling too. Like, you know, considering how he is, he might cheat. Might, so... But even with my might is a little towards, yes, it can be, but with a bit of temptation and a bit of alcohol, he just might. And doesn't that just make my blood boil? To even think of the slightest possibility of infidelity? Lee isn't too far off when he told me how Luke still acted like some young hotshot bachelor. Oh, where is this one? Oh, wow, we are directly up over here. So, let's first save. Okay, so perhaps a break is needed, or I need to work for my happy ending. Let's aim for the happy ending then. So, yeah, let's choose that. Becky's words are still fresh in my mind. And I can't help but think that the girl, plucky woman that she is, has a point. If I love Luke, I will have to fight for him, don't I? So far I have been doing nothing and sitting on my behind, hoping it will fix itself. Yes, this whole mess definitely isn't going to fix itself. How dare that woman try to drag our name and our relationship through the mud with her lies. And at my own party, determination fires me up as I take a step forward into the middle of the fray. All the while she has been screaming. A signal for security to stop, and I can already feel the glower on my face as I stare into hers. She wilts as soon as she sees me. She starts to grow anxious and her protests die down. I can see her haughty, angry expression turn into a horrified realization that she failed. Oh my god, so Luke is... Rightfully so, she should be scared. What is that thing they say again? Ever wake a sleeping dragon? They often think that Luke is the one in charge, that he is the one to be feared and appeased. They think me as only the pretty wife. They forget that I am just as capable, just as worthy of respect.
I invite you, my friend, into my house on a day of merriment, and you insult my name and accuse my husband of infidelity. What have I ever done to make you treat us with such disrespect? You are no longer welcome in any of our estates, our properties, and our businesses. And we will no longer patronize yours. Now, escort the girl and make sure she isn't standing even an inch within our grounds.
She looks devastated. Reasonable. This does make her into a pariah, doesn't it? I should feel concerned, but I can't find even an inkling of mercy within me. I don't know what her plan was. I don't know what she wanted to make out of this. The money? Luke? It doesn't matter what she wanted.
You won't show your face to me ever again if you know what is good for you, Rochelle. Take her away.
The tension is thick in the air, and the silence that embraces the room is so set that one can practically hear a pin drop. There are worried and almost fearful glances from some of the guests, but they all know this is well within my right. She is the one who started this whole dilemma. It just so happens that I am the one ending it. As long as everyone hold their tongue and don't interfere, none of the consequences matter to me. Especially when my darling looks at me with a different shine in his eyes. It almost seems as if, yes, it's quite the same, and I guess I was pretty wrong about him. Wow. So Luke is not a douchebag. I mean, he's kinda a douchebag, but just like too hot-headed, I will say, rather than, I think, to this low level, I will say. Nonetheless, I still act upset because this does not change what just happened. He still has a lot to answer to. We'll see about that. Maybe I could be proven again wrong, thinking that Luke is alright. Because the ending that we got, like, it just makes me want to think Luke is just not the type of guy who is like, bad. But if you try to be good with him, he can be good. And not attempting any of this shizzle mabizzle this Rochelle woman was accusing him of. Let's see about that. I guess his arc will answer that part. Because even if the woman is lying, there is always an inkling of truth in every lie. So when I turn on him to say that the shock he displays gives me gratification is an understatement. Of course, there is no reason to make a husband and wife spat into a public spectacle. Some privacy will generate the least number of headaches and complications. Everyone is still far too busy in the boardroom, and most of the staff are still in the kitchen. A sharp glance at anyone who will go through the doors is all it takes to make them retreat. Wow. And the most private we can get without me dragging Luke all the way to our bedroom is the foyer.
And you. We are going to talk about this, Lucille Mitchell-Wright. Not now, but we will
talk about this.
Right! I swear that is not my child, no matter what that woman says. Hana, darling, you believe me, don't you?
I believe that it isn't your child. But you never said that you did not cheat on me with her. We'll have a talk about that tomorrow, among other things.
What for? What other things?
About us, Luke. This isn't right, this doubting each other and not talking. That's why we'll talk. If anyone needs me, I'll be in our room. I'm in no mood to be talking with anyone about anything, especially nosy beggars who have no business with any of it.
Should I be worried? Scared? Because you know threats do not work with me, Hana.
None of those. You should know I'm not your enemy, Luke. I need rest. That's all.
Of course, you must be so tired. You've earned some peace. I'll take over the party from here.
Good night, love.
Good night, Buttercup.
Sometimes I forget that leaving Luke to handle a party is a horrible idea. Okay, so this went pretty good. Pretty damn good. Very well than the last time where we just destroyed Rochelle. Even though we did in this one too, but that was like a very, very, very rude way of things going on. But yeah, it's pretty damn good. I wish I was doing this originally, but god damn it, whatever. Because come morning, the dining hall is a mess with few of his drinks, friends sleeping about. At least a dozen men and women are scattered about, sleeping like they are in alcohol-induced comas. Even Officer Lee is there, slipping off the effects and still clutching a bottle of a 1998 Jumilla. No doubt Luke has served some of his stores and an absinthe. Judging by the faint, burnt smell, they had set fire to the ladder too. Bohemian. Okay, there is a lot to be happening in this route. Wow. There is only so much I can tolerate as we have Johans retrieve every single one and get them a cab. And they are everywhere. At the table, on it and underneath it, and some are even in the kitchen.
Nap time is over, Kinder. Time to go.
And oh dear, does this piss our valet, though he is still a man of silent fury. Although it is a little treat to hear him utter curses in German from the other room, I imagine Luke will be amused as well if it isn't his guests that are being thrown out. Instead, he is brooding in his seat, rolling a stalk of daffodil in between his fingers.
He's energetic, and you aren't drunk. That, or you are getting better with handling your hangovers without your dog hairs. Should I be looking out the window to see if the sky has turned red and if pigs have started to fly?
I am unfortunately completely sober, Hana.
And how does it feel not being hungover?
Still miserable.
It'll get better.
Or so they say. You wanted to talk about something?
You know, for once, I wish you were hungover. Maybe this isn't the best time for this talk.
No, please. I do not like loose ends. And this is a bloody ugly loose end.
Then, first things first, I want you to be honest with me. Just between the two of us. Without others to impress. Without people listening in. Just you and me.
Did you or did you not sleep with Rochelle Lee and got her pregnant?
I didn't get her pregnant. But the thought of having a child with her? Can you just imagine it? Or rather, don't. I can already see it. It'll look like that ruddy pig boy from that Young Wizard book.
I don't care about Once Upon a Time. What I'm asking is if you were with her the other night during my party.
Him not showing up in most of the gatherings I have hosted in the past is nothing new, of course. The one I have had last week is no different. It's merely another thing I've gotten used to between us after things turned sour. But after Rochelle's outburst last night, I won't deny feeling the disappointment, the betrayal. What's done is done. However, though, at the very least, I still want to hear the truth from him.
She made me meet with her the night of your party. But I swear, I only agreed to go so that I could tell her I wasn't having none of it. It isn't my baby. I don't even think it's Lee's. Poor bloke. I mean, I probably slept with her once. We were probably incredibly drunk, but that would have been a long time ago before she was preggo.
Are you sure, Luke? You're not making anything up or leaving anything out?
Of course not. I swear it on my mother's grave.
I guess that's about it then. He swears it, he says as he hands me the flower with such tenderness, and I believe him.
Well, if that's all you wanted to talk about, you shouldn't have made me worry.
For the sake of my sanity and for the sake of our marriage, I'll pretend that you never said any of that. Are you sure you aren't drunk now?
Haven't had a single drop and hating it.
Would you like something to drink? Because I'm not done. I have something else to tell you.
No thanks, maybe I will after this little talk you wanted to have. I already told you, and you already said you believe me that the brat isn't my child. I already spilled that I might have had drunken sex with her once, and you wish to wipe that off your memory. So do we have anything else to talk about? Because have at it, I'm all ears.
You're pretty miffed for someone who just admitted to his wife that he's cheated.
And you're stalling. I can tell that incident has you shaken up. So why don't you just spit it out and get this all over with?
I'm pregnant.
What?
What?
Come again?
You heard me.
You've got to be kidding, right? This must be some kind of joke. Are you taking the piss at me? Because, woman, I don't need a second fake pregnancy.
Instead of answering, however, I stay silent and let the matter of the fact sink into his head. His face heats up for a moment before he goes pale. He raises a hand in the hopes of asking for a drink, but the morning staff are still busy evicting the last of his inebriated companions. And he doesn't even bother to bark out orders as if he's lost his very voice. Actually, he looks like he's on the verge of hyperventilating.
This is Anna, darling. I need some air. How long have you been?
3 months. And the twins. Although we don't know yet if they're a boy or a girl or both.
Good God! Twins! I'm going to be a father to 2 tiny babies. Breathe, Luke! Breathe!
Goodness, Luke, I'm the one who's pregnant here, not you.
No, don't touch me! Stay away!
The scream cuts off my amusement, and without thinking, Luke and I rush to the foyer. There stands a crazed-looking chief inspector trashing out about as he tries to make it up the stairs while Johannes holds him back.
What is going on here?
Und tschüss! All the Schweinehunde must leave, including you, Chef Inspector. This one is very problematic and will not leave.
No, you can't make me leave! I need to stay here for her! I need to help her!
Oh, Rochelle? She's probably already at home, dearie. Or she might have already gone and skipped town. Who knows?
Oh, for the love of... There's no point talking logic in him. Lee, go home. You're drunk.
Can't you hear her crying? She was crying, just weeping and in so much pain last night!
Oh my god, he's not talking about Rochelle. He's talking about the ghost. Oh.
I couldn't help her, drunk sobbing bastard that I am. But my help, she needs my help. Tell your fucking stupid lapdog to let go of me, Luke! Or I'm gonna knock him down and I'm gonna knock the 2 of you down too!
Language! I've already dealt with your wife, so don't make me deal with you, Lee. Or I swear I'll...
Hannah, enough. Don't stress yourself over him. It'll be bad for the twins. So go back to your breakfast and let me handle this. Oh,
Are you sure?
why wouldn't I be? Now, go ahead and do something less stressful.
Go ahead and do nothing. There isn't much to do. It seems whenever I step up to the plate and try to take responsibility for something, perhaps because everything is already being handled by someone hired specifically for that job, and with Johannes overseeing the staff and Luke handling everything else as a whole, that doesn't even leave much for me. I can't even take the job of delegation because all it takes is a word to one of the senior staff and everything will be taken care of for me. Moving in here a few days ago may have very well been the chore that took the most effort from me, and that didn't take any real effort at all.
Yes, Hana, go buy a mansion in the middle of nowhere. Good idea. Great plan.
There are no dishes to set aside and busy myself with, and any mess left behind is now nearly non-existent. To sit on a counter while eating cake is supposed to be my next plan. Alas, there isn't even one to finish off, and I don't really know what brought me to the kitchens in the first place. It's not like I'm craving anything else, nor do I have any unfinished business left here. But there is a calling to this room. Speaking of calling, why not do just that? Might as well, since I have nothing else to do. At least that will require some effort on my part. With how cut off from the rest of the Luxmore the mansion is, and with how long it was abandoned before we moved in, having a landline is out of the question. The solution supposed to be our mobiles, though it isn't much considering how spotty the signal is in the area. It will take a bit of maneuvering to get even a single bar as it is. It takes a bit, as I said it would. I have to park my rear on one of the cold drawers, but that suits me just fine. Another matter that needs my effort is who to call. She who must not be named is certainly off the list. That doesn't leave much in the category of close friends who attended the party, along with category of who else is awake at this early hour. But soon enough, I manage and the call goes through.
Hello, Rebecca Gales here.
Ooh, wow.
Who's this?
Good morning, Becky.
Hannah? Oh wait, how did you get my number?
You responded to your RSVP through the phone. It's all saved in here, of course. I thought I'd like to say hi and make plans and get together sometime. Also, I'd love to hear news about your mother and father and about you, my dear. Oh, I hope I didn't wake you up.
Oh, you're good. It's sports day at school today, so I was just prepping for that.
Figures that you'd be a teacher as well. I'm sure your students must absolutely adore you.
Don't know about that.
Mathematics?
History, actually. Anyway, it's real nice to know you've got my number. I was going to ask for yours because Mom wanted to keep in touch.
You could have asked, silly girl. I would have gladly given it to you.
Couldn't, though, because, well, the thing that happened. But really am sorry, though. I gotta run. School, schedule, stuff. Is there anything else you want to say? Don't want to use the mobile while driving.
Oh, of course, of course. I shouldn't keep you. But I wanted to thank you for your company yesterday.
Not a problem.
And for that other thing as well.
What for now?
For what you said to me. With what had happened.
Ah.
It's been very helpful in...
The call starts to go static, much to my frustration. A strange clicking noise drowns out most of her words too. I doubt she can understand with what I'm saying. And the line completely dies. I can feel a headache coming along. It's just building up, starting from a light throbbing on one side of my head. The static is gone, and that helps a lot. But there's still that incessant, horrible clicking, again and again and again, which doesn't make sense. The mobile's turned off, isn't it? And if it isn't coming from the phone, then where? Oh my god, looking about, I can't help but let my eyes be drawn to the hatch leading into the wine cellar once more. That's when the clicking stops and I can hear that crying, that familiar crying from before. What happened the other day when I was told that nobody should have been down there? I tried to forget it because of how it unsettled me, so one can hardly do that when I'm looking at the very thing I'm trying to forget. Somebody's crying down there again. But if I leave it alone, it simply won't stop bothering me for the rest of the day. They might have forgotten to lock it with the party going
This
on.
again? If somebody is pulling my leg, I will not be happy.
True enough, all it takes is a bit of a pull to open the hatch. As I look down to the cellar, a sense of uneasiness washes over me. It isn't just the sudden onset of vertigo and oh, okay, it's quite the same. Oh my god. The cries drown beneath the shrieks that start echoing in my head, high and shrill, like nails being dragged across a chalkboard. They are all screaming, shouting at me, and I can just feel her rage. Help me. She wants to drown me, drag me down, and crush me in the very depths of the darkness until there is nothing left of me. The deep abyss waits for me, for my death. They are all calling for it. This is a nightmare. Oh no. There is a rope around my neck and I can feel the rest of me being torn apart. And they are still screaming. I'm screaming, though it is not my voice that escapes my lips. It claws through, climbing up and forcing its way up my throat like putrid bile. I choke and gag, yet I scream and shriek all at the same time. And I'm me, but not me. Okay, let's see if I can get something from this one. Because last time around it was just like a dead end. Let's see. It's a moment of reprieve and I want to believe that I'm finally safe. But it's quiet. Too quiet. Yeah. Now let's go. Okay, let's do this. We got it. Wow, that was pretty simple. It pushes me down to my knees before I'm prone and vulnerable on my stomach. It makes me tumble and I can just feel my whole body seizing, breathing on the floor. Everything and nothing hurts. It feels like I'm on the verge of death. And if I'm not dying, I nearly wish I actually am.
Hana? Hana, what is going on in here? Why are you?
Prince!
Seeing Luke, something snaps back and I'm able to take a gasp of air on my own volition for the first time in what felt like centuries. I would have rejoiced and cried for his name if the pain still did not rack my body. Instead, all I can do is stare listlessly as he comes to my side and lifts me up, cradling me in his arms. He tries to get me to my feet, perhaps to take me out of here. But all he is able to do is to get me to seat, make sure I'm not thrashing on the floor. I can still feel my muscles spasm, limbs jerking like a puppet on a string. Luke holds me tight and keeps me still so that I do not hurt myself anymore. Whatever it is that happened, it has my mind feeling frayed and battered. Eventually the pain dies down into a dull ache and my own tongue stops feeling like cotton. It's only now that I can feel the wetness on my cheek, tears streaking down my face. A coughing racks my body now that I don't feel like choking. And it just all feels so horrible. But I don't care. I don't care.
Please!
What happened here? Who did this to you?
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Shh, it's alright. You're safe now, Hana. You're safe now.
Whoa! That was crazy. Feel sad for Hana, considering. I hope the baby is alright though. Oh my god. But that was so freaking good. This route. This good ending. Oh my god, I wish I could have got it. But there was absolutely no way I could have got this ending since I didn't show the letter in the very first arc. That one little decision made such a big mess in the second arc. Oh my god. And wow, it was good to know that Luke is not that much of a douchebag. He's good. He's little hot-headed, but he's good. And yeah, that I actually feel for them. I guess it was just the years and him being all busy in this stuff that their relationship got very bad, and to the point where any little thing and it would go off the freaking track, and it did because of the choices that I did. Ah, my god. So yeah, there are still a couple of little things that I have to do. That is to choose the second option over here, and a couple of options that are up over here, which I guess will affect the later on arcs. So about that, let's go. Okay, so let's choose the second option this time. I feel guilty, uneasy even about bringing this topic up. This isn't the first time I've brought it out there, considering we have been married for 7 years, but I should have learned my lesson. Talking about it has always gotten me disapproval. After all, this is one of the surefire ways to get Luke into a terrible mood.
I'm sorry, but I do think you...
Don't finish that sentence, Hana. Just don't. We know how this discussion ends. Let's not fight over what-ifs and if-onlys.
But what if we are going to have a family, Luke? What then?
I just told you. No what-ifs.
We won't talk about it until you're ready.
Let's not talk about it then. Ever.
The silence that follows is stifling. I avert my gaze from him, favoring the view of our flower poster bed overseeing his embittered expression. Just thinking of how insensitive I am for bringing it up makes me feel sick to my stomach. We stay still, neither of us dared make the first move too late. And yeah, everything is gonna be quite the same, so let's move on to the next one.
Oh, bloody hell, what is it now? I can't get away for 10 minutes without someone mucking something up. That better not be what I think it is.
Okay, this time around is damn pissed off.
I know it's only an 8 million yen vase, but I swear, I'll...
Yes, this line, oh my god. I don't stop him as he storms off and he doesn't even bother to look my way. Yet I can still feel his eyes boring into me. Alone as per usual, and yeah, now let's go. Okay, so let's choose perhaps a break is needed rather than I need to work. Maybe Marianne had a point. If I'm frustrated, if I'm unhappy, maybe a break is needed. Some time apart might be just what the doctor ordered. Time apart to clear our heads and to think for ourselves, or for myself to be exact. Ooh! So this was a choice between would you take the advice of Marianne or would you take the advice of Becca? Oh, because looking at this mess before me just brings me nothing but distress. I feel a bit nauseous actually now that I think about it. Luke's too busy making a scene to notice, and a concerned Becky pulls me to the side. She looks as disturbed as I am by this sudden turn of events. Probably not a big fan of the drama. Yeah, definitely not used to it at any rate. Not surprising as her parents were lovely yet simple people.
Hey, I figured you could use the save. You looked like you weren't doing too hot back there. Do we need to call a doctor or something?
Oh no, I'll just be needing some fresh air, that's all. Some help getting out of here would be much appreciated.
Sure, that won't be a problem. I wanted to get away from this drama too anyway. Just... Hey, Zachary! Hey, Zach!
At the mention of his name, I can't help but seek him out in the crowd as he makes his way over here. They know each other?
Becca, this is a real oh, hey, Miss Wright.
If I am to assign a random number to dictate the odds of having two of my acquaintances know each other, I will say the odds are 1 out of 1,000, yeah. And if this is any other situation, I would have been suspicious. And guess what? It's gonna be 1 in a million because Isabella knows them too. It isn't completely impossible to have two random strangers who I have met on separate occasions to know each other in what will be complete random happenstance. It's just that it's been faked before to try and dupe me because of who I am and who I am married to. But right now, coincidence or not, I'm just grateful for the help. As long as this doesn't turn out to a kidnapping anyway.
Hello, Zachary. I told you to call me Hana. Did I not?
Yeah, you did. So this is what you called me for. We gonna get Hana out of here?
I can see that they are friends. Not terribly close ones, but friends nonetheless.
That'd be great.
They make quick work of getting us through the crowd. The people part because of Zachary's broad build, even if they want to approach me. If that isn't Becky's pointed glares keep them at bay. We even make it out of the ballroom without any untoward incident. Though, judging by the commotion in the other room, the same cannot be said about the unexpected eviction. I really do need the fresh air. I need to be away from those nosy Parkers. I need to be away from Luke. This is a good start as any...
Hey, I gotta go back in there. Completely forgot my bag like an airhead, and I'll see if I can tag Ash on the way out. You'll be fine here, right, Hannah?
Not to worry, dearie. I'll just be right here.
Zach will be with you if you need anything.
Becky balks at the idea of going back into the ballroom. Anyone who hasn't yet would have realized I'm gone by now. And those busybodies will be gossiping about how I left the building with two unknowns. Along with what just transpired, stories both inaccurate and made up will spread by the night's end. It all matters very little in the grand scheme of things, of course. I won't even bother to try and kill them by returning to the fray. That leaves me with...
Zachary?
Yeah, you need something?
I was only going to say how nice it is to see you again.
Oh, okay.
I can see the tension in the line of his shoulders. How awkward he is when this isn't our first meeting. We had met on professional terms, certainly, but I like to think I was friendly. Nonetheless, I do not push the issue about the apparent discomfort when we were left alone. Not right away at any rate. I know my curiosity will get the better of me soon. Before I can say anything, however, he speaks up.
You okay there, Hannah? I mean, of course you're not okay after what happened in there. I mean, that was terrible, but you're not gonna just fall down and faint or anything, right?
I'm fine. Thank you for your concern. I should be asking you the same thing. I remember you being a lot more eloquent.
Oh yeah, I'm just not too good with staying too long in a crowded room. Or handling intense drama, you know. Sorry about my clothes. Didn't think there'd be a dress code. Not that I have anything that nice to wear to a shindig like this. I dig nice, small, simple parties, so this is a real doozy for me.
And do you host your own nice, small, and simple parties often?
Only when there's occasion, birthdays and stuff. Those are a lot more fun for me, and I can be a lot more selective about letting only the people I'm cool with attend, right? I get to pick the food, too. Of course, I make most of them myself. There's usually a dozen people or less, and all we really do is just hang out. Maybe do some grilling, karaoke, dancing, you know, the usual.
That sounds nice.
Yeah. You sure you're all right? You aren't exactly being eloquent yourself, as you put it. You must have something you want to get off your chest.
I don't know, Zachary. What am I supposed to say?
You can scream Merd if you want. I won't snitch.
You want to know what I think? How I feel? I think my friend may have slept with my husband. At least, I'm pretty sure she isn't pregnant with his baby, which isn't much now, is it? My husband is a selfish, pretentious, bloody sack of shite, and you know what? I don't give a flying fuck anymore! My God!
Well, that ain't good. Not giving a crap won't make the problem go away.
I'm going to ask him for a break, Zachary. I'm not going to pretend that there isn't a problem, but I just need to step back.
Fair enough. As long as you don't just up and disappear on him, I suppose.
Yes. Now can we please stop talking about him? Tell me more about your small, simple parties. Karaoke and dancing. How does that even go together?
Simple, really. We hope Ash doesn't take the mic, put on a bit of fun music, and just dance. Not that I can. But there ain't nothing complex about it.
You can't be that bad.
I'm pretty good with the twist. Or that's what they tell me, at least. I think they're just being nice. I'm sure it just looks awkward.
Oh. Okay. That's quite a choice, let's see. Let's say... prove it?
I've learned that men tend to exaggerate. You can't honestly be that bad, can you?
What? Do you need a demonstration?
That would be preferable, yes.
It's not like there's music here, Hana. Come on. I can barely dance with music, and I don't want to be dancing alone. I'll just look silly.
Imagine, mon ami. You are an artiste, are you not? With your photos and films and your guitar, you must know notes to play an instrument. Find a melody and a beat. Would it be such a stretch of the imagination? And don't fret, I will gladly be your partner.
I can tell by his expression that he's flushed, embarrassed. But no more protests escape him and he focuses with a slight tilt of his head. Then he starts to hum a little tune. I drag him into the gardens while he goes through the motions and he gains courage, the farther we are from other people. Oh wow! And we just dance. Though he stumbles at first, unsure and bashful.
Where did you even learn to dance, Zach? The 60s want their moves back, honestly.
The college of two left feet, obviously. And I'll have you know the twist is still an awesome dance.
We are happy and we are having fun. Even if Zachary fumbles with his steps and did the funniest, oddest moves that anyone can pass off as dancing, there is no need to impress anyone, however, not even each other. And this is the most I have smiled and laughed in a long time. It is simple. Simple is nice. Wow, that was pretty good. Okay, so let's see what's up now. I wish the same can be said about what I'm about to do. Simple isn't the adjective I will use to describe the task at hand. Let's see what our roots are now. Okay, since we chose a little something different, it's gonna be pretty different over here. So let's go. Because really, how does one tell their husband that they want to separate and say that no, this is not a divorce? Not yet at least. The possibility is there. But still, how am I even to explain that to Luke without him throwing a fit? Cutting deeply into my sausages, I open my mouth to excuse myself. That is until I spy Luke mashing and stirring his poached eggs with a fork like a petulant child. He has been silent all the time, while chin in his hand and elbow resting on the table. I worry that my absence after the debacle may have caused more harm than good.
Luke, I think we need a bit of a break. You know, some time apart.
At my words, he grows still and silent. I'm not quite sure whether I should be worried or not. I take it as my cue to keep talking.
It's not permanent or anything like that. Just for a while. In a few days, perhaps. I was thinking I can move back into our penthouse in the meantime. But I won't be moving out right away. So that I can help settle everything here. And I haven't even thought of packing yet. And I'll want to ask Johans to assign some of our staff. Unless you want the penthouse anyway. Then I'll stay here instead.
No, you take the penthouse. It'll be easier for you.
It isn't supposed to be this easy, is it? Can he really act so aloof to it?
Isn't this to your liking? I imagine that you'd like the space and independence. You'll have the bed and covers to yourself, and you can have whatever you want prepared for meals. You can even have all the wine you want, though I'd rather that you don't.
This isn't about that, Hana. Well, it's partly that, but...
The man stops playing with his food, choosing instead to push the plate aside.
What's wrong, Luke?
He slumps back in his chair and just stops short of putting his feet up on the table. I suspect he's wanting some wine or absinthe by now, but any sort of alcohol is suspiciously absent in his hand.
Aside from that disaster yesterday and you telling me you want a divorce, everything is peachy keen. Will you want me to start in the letters then? To start the divorce settlements and whatnot? Will you be seeking ways to throw me out onto the street without a penny to my name?
No, Luke, this isn't a divorce. I just told you this is only temporary. Are you really having a sulk because of what she said yesterday?
I am having a sulk because you believe her. You stormed out and now you're asking for us to split up? Soon enough, you'll want to throw me out like I'm a piece of trash.
Do you think I would be this calm if I believed her, Lucille Mitchell Wright? Because believe me, if I did, well, it wouldn't be pretty.
Yeah, and we have saw that side of her.
Besides, I know how you feel about children. It makes the whole statement laughable.
Sure, whatever you say.
His mouth draws into a thin line, and I can't bring myself to comment on his half-hearted reply. To me, the silence that follows feels oppressive. It only emphasizes the wall that has been built up by my obsessions and his hubris. And it looms between us, keeping us apart.
When are you leaving? In a week?
It won't take that long to pack. After All Saints, perhaps, I'll go and inform the staff of this.
He only nods. And I will be lying if I said that didn't disappoint me. I expected more resistance. The man could be stubborn as a mule if he wants to be. Perhaps I can leave now, just to spite him. But that isn't like me. Even if this does end in a divorce, a thing we both surely wish to avoid, we can still live on amicable terms. There's no point in making a mountain of a molehill.
What are you still doing here? Just leave. You still have some packing to do, don't you? Go ahead. I won't stop you.
Okay, so yeah, this time around she did not say to him about being pregnant, and yeah, I guess things are gonna be quite the same. So let's move on to our last choice now, our branch route.
I was hoping you could thank Zachary on my behalf as well.
Oh, maybe not. There is little change here.
He was really kind and wonderful.
Well, you can tell him that yourself if you want. I can give you his number.
Oh, no, I don't want to be a bother. Intruding on his privacy.
Pretty sure he'd be fine with it. If you two on a first name basis and all. So his number, right, it's...
And yeah, now it's the same. Okay, that's a little different, but yeah, now let's go. Okay, and now finally to here. At least you can cook.
At least you can cook. Allegedly. You still bring no proof.
This party ain't exactly a potluck, is it?
True. Perhaps you can invite me to one of your simple parties. I will bring the cake.
Yeah, why not? But with a cake that big like at your housewarming party, we'll be eating frosting for weeks. Maybe make it a little simpler and it's a deal.
Simple would be nice.
Okay. Yeah, and it's all the same from here, so I think this is a good place to end the episode right here. I mean, it is, since we are done with all. Let's get done with this though. Yeah, it's all the same till the very end, on to the next arc here. So yeah, we are done with all the branch routes and all the endings that I did not got in my original set of routes or set of choices. And yeah, my god, this was so good. That one choice in the Isabella arc made such a big mess in this one, because that one decision to show the letter determined you will get 1 or 2 and I got the second one, which was a little better than this one, where we became evil and we became the ghost. Wow, which was crazy. And this one was just fantastic. I so wish I could have got this choice, but yeah, can't do anything about it. And I will definitely stick to my original set of choices until the very end. And yeah, I mean, I'm covering everything, so I think I am pretty alright with it. So as you can see, we got all the CGIs of this one, all the backgrounds, yeah, all the backgrounds, item sprites, and CGI, and also a memory fragment as well, which I got in my original set of choices, which was this one. And yeah, which is pretty interesting. But let's not judge, let's see what happened in the past, which is also a story that is very interesting, and slowly we will know about it as we progress. So yeah, we are gonna end the episode right here. Hopefully you enjoyed once again, if you want to check out the original set of fruits and the original ending that I got, that is ending number 2, you can check it out. Link is in the description for those episodes. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Hope you liked it. If you did, please click that like button, subscribe for more awesome content, comment down with your thoughts, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Shabaka.